Some of the clubs that you played in the 70s and 80s around Philly, did you play Ortlieb's?
I worked Ortlieb's a lot.
Yeah.
When I moved from Chicago, my mom was there. Arthur Harper was playing. Oh no, first was Benny Nelson was the first. Benny Nelson was the first bass player. My mom and Mickey was playing, and sometimes Bobby would play, but I think Mickey was the one. Yeah.
And what other clubs did you play in Philly?
In Philadelphia, there was Natalie's. There was Benny the Bums, Mr. Mann's on Market Street. Where? There were like clubs all over the city. I mean, the Top Shelf.
Oh yeah.
Then there was a Top Shelf downtown. What else? Oh, Dino's Lounge.
Was that the one in West Philly?
That was on. Yeah, that was. What's his name? What is his name? With Bruce Mills. He booked Bruce Mills. I know his name. The owner. That's where I met Jimmy Smith. I met Dakota Staten there, and through that meeting, there was also Jules, which was on Broad Street.
About the Velvet Lounge?
That I don't know about the Velvet Lounge, but I remember it was called on Arch Street, Second and Arch. What was the name of it? Stardust Supper Club.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. That's where I met Al Gray.
Okay.
We did Left Bank. What else? So many. Now that I think of it, a lot of these places are gone. I worked with Jimmy Oliver. There were like 2 or 3 different clubs on Ridge Avenue. Matt Jones. One that at 15th and Ridge. I don't know the name of that, but I played there with Jimmy. But basically with Jimmy, we played at the Top Shelf all the time. We did some recordings with it's a gentleman that had, I think it was Bob Perkins, and he had a little thing that he did. I forget where it was, but it was Jimmy Oliver, Reggie Curry, and Bernard Samuels and myself. Yeah. We did a lot of videos with Bob. Mm-hmm.
Well, we're going to be trying to collect as much as we can about your life to go along with what we're asking you.
Mm-hmm.
And your memories help us make connection to other people too.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And so what are you looking at your life right now as far as playing? Are you playing much anymore?
No, I'm not playing. As a matter of fact, that's a hard pill to swallow. I had a brand new set of drums that I brought back with me from Chicago, and someone broke in the house where my wife lives and took my drums. I never got a chance to play them.
Oh, you have to call Jazzbridge about that.
Yeah, and that bothers me a lot, and because I have idle time where my sanctity came from playing. Now my mind races, and that's where a lot of the medication comes from. Depression, things of that nature. It's hard. It's hard to even try to explain to people, my peers and people that I see every day. They have no clue. They have no clue. All they know is I talk a lot. And the only reason why I talk so much is because I can't play. Right. Wheels are turning up here all the time.
Remember Jim Miller? He was the same way.
Yeah.
And so well, you really should call Jasper to try to get you another set.
Oh, if it's
Sure.
possible. If it's
At least
possible.
you could go out when you have little get,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, it's nice to have because see, then at least I can practice.
Right.
You know, I can think in another way and start trying to put something together for myself.
Sure.
You know, now I'm basically just speaking. When I have the opportunity, I'd like to speak. I like to speak to the kids. We used to do assemblies for the kids. So
Are
that,
you teaching, have you had teach?
I've had students, and they don't last. You know, if you're depending on your students, after they get so much under their belt, they think they know what they want to know, or their parents don't want to pay anymore, or they cancel. You know, it's a hard way to make a living. You know, so I did some teaching at the Clef Club as like not a primary instructor, but I was like the next man.
Okay.
You know, I taught a lot of the kids certain concepts, like verbal concepts, like Joe did for me. I showed them things as far as like little tricks of the drum. You know, how to make things work, not being over busy, not too busy. Try to keep them, get them to manage to hold the sticks correct, take their time, learn how to read, so they can understand what they're playing. You know, and discipline. You know, that's a big part. And surprisingly, my best students there were female.
Wow.
Yeah. And one got a scholarship, and so I'm really happy about it. I had something to do with that.
Yes, you do. I mean, without mentorship like you had with Billy Joe Jones and Bobby Durham, and I mean that's precious instruction that you can't get anywhere else, and that
Yeah.
you have inserted into your brain now because you grew up with them.
Yeah.
You know, and no one else be able to get that kind of instruction that you got because you happened to be there at the right time.
Yeah. So I don't want to leave the planet without letting somebody know what's going on here. You know, they say when an old person dies, the library burns down with them.
That's right. That's right.
So,
Now, do you have any other questions?
Well, you played with so many people. I'm wondering if you can do like a chronology. You know, I played with Jack McDuff from this year to this year, and I played with Jimmy McGriff. Can you, as much as you can reconstruct that, because it's all, to me, it's all like jumbled together.
okay. All right. Well, my professional career took off in the 70s. Well, with Jack, it was 71 to maybe 72. Then I went to McGriff, which was like from 72 to 73, 74. Upon which, in between, I was working with Wild Bill Davis. In between those, so in the 80s, that was Groove Holmes. Then it was Arthur Price.
Like what years, roughly?
Let
As best as you can.
me see. I'd say like, I'm thinking, how old was I? Where was I? I was around 39, so
You were born in
53,
yeah.
So
yeah.
that would have been
Somewhere in the 80s.
like
36, 37, something like that. So that was in the mid 80s. I can't really give you a pinpoint year of when and how long because there's a lot of time passed, you know. But it was
that was groove, you were saying.
yeah, that was Groove.
Then Arthur Price.
Then Arthur Prysock. Then from Prysock I went to Chicago, and that.
And when did you live in Chicago?
I lived in Chicago till from 80 to about 89,
Oh, that long?
90, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. And that's where I met Charles Erling. after Groove and Prysock, then it was Charles Earling. Then from Charles Earling, from there in around about 89, I went on the road with Freddie Cole, but that was short-lived. That wasn't even a year. You know, there was some kind of political kind of a thing of which certain things that they were doing that I was not willing to sell my soul for. And so he just left me in Philly.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't want to throw any shade on anyone.
Sometimes that happens. Charlie Rice used to tell me that Chet Baker, he just asked him to go to Europe, and he says, I didn't want to go out with him anymore because he was just trouble.
Yeah. Well, this particular that particular stint with Mr. Freddie Coles, it was a little more sensitive and against my my persuasions.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just leave it like that.
Okay. Well, I didn't ask you this. Do you have children?
Yes, I do.
How many do you have?
I have two sons. One who was born in '76. He's my namesake, who I haven't seen for over 30 years.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's nothing I did. You know, some things just slip by you. I have grandchildren by him I've never seen, and that his mother, that was her. So, you know, I just let it go. You know, and I have another son who just turned 39, who is into the music business. He's very much so into the church. He went to Roman Catholic high school. He ran track, set 2 national high school records in the 440 and 220. He was a junior Olympic hopeful. He went to college. He used to sing, he was cantor for Roman Catholic at the graduation. He was in the McDonald's Gospel Fest as a participant with the, Youth Unlimited Gospel Choir, which he then became the musical director. They took McDonald's Gospel Fest five years in a row.
Is he living in Philly?
Yes,
Wow.
yes. His name is Travis, and I'm very proud of him.
I guess so.
And he's, as a matter of fact, he's producing his own music as we speak. He's doing quite well. You know, he knows his business.
Well, he's had good teachers too.
Speaking of that, your mother taught for many years at Cheney, right?
Yes.
Did you have any connection with any of that? Or?
No, I did not. No. I remember her going to Temple when she was going to school, and Jim Holton was a classmate. From Temple to Cheney, I remember seeing her as the band director for Bill Cosby's You Bet Your Life.
Right.
Tim Warfield and the trumpet player,
Terrell.
They were under her wing at that time. And you see where they are now.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to the Cosby Show?
Yeah, I was at one of the.
What was that like?
It's pretty much camera on, break, and the band would play, and then he would come back on. They had this master of ceremonies. He's a comedian. I forget his name, but he's funny. He was the MC. I went to one. It was down on Walnut Street, I believe, where it was being held. And I got to meet Bill, and he actually like circled me, spotted me and gave me like a thumbs up or acknowledgement, in the crowd. So that was nice.
And was your mother the director of that band?
She was.
Yeah, so that was...
It was her band, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And who was in that band? You said it was...
I remember Billy James was the drummer. I don't remember everyone.
I think Lee Smith was the bassist.
Maybe so, yeah.
Yeah, I think Lee Smith was the bassist.
Yeah, they had a nice little unit.
Mm-hmm.
They were tight.
It didn't last too long, though, right?
No, I don't know how long.
Season.
Maybe 1 year. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, my last question, I wanted to just ask you as far as the son of Shirley Scott, when she had that fen-phen.
Yeah.
Can you give us some insight on what happened there? Because I know it was being ballyhooed as this great weight loss drug,
Yeah.
and it took a lot of people down with it when they realized it.
Here's the deal. My mother had a heart condition, and people with heart conditions should not be taking fen-phen. The doctor that was prescribing this medication, I was, as a matter of fact, I was in Germany on my first year and the second tour. Every time when it was time for me to come home, I would call my mother and the phone would keep ringing. And that was an indication that she was back in the hospital. So she got a private suit against, not a class action, not with everybody else. She sued the pharmaceutical company, I think. And I don't know if the doctor as well, but he should have known better because he knew her condition and he kept prescribing this medication. And she developed pulmonary hypertension.
That's right.
So it was like her trying to breathe through a swizzle stick, and she was telling me, I said, Duck, I can't even walk up to the stage anymore. It's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I said, Mom, maybe it's God's way of telling you to take it to the next level and teach. And I think she was going for her doctorate degree when she finally expired. And that was a hard piece for me. I didn't listen to music for over a year. It seemed like every time I turned on the radio, it was my mother's music. I really took a deep nosedive into drugs at that time. I didn't want to play. I didn't want to be bothered with anyone. I isolated and just kept to myself. I was virtually, withering away. And at that point, that's when all of this started happening to me. Neuropathies and things of that nature. I didn't even see it. I didn't realize it was happening. And next thing I know, my hands were done, and I wasn't able to play. So when I finally got back up, pulled myself back up, I started sitting in at Ortlieb's, and Mickey would say, "You want to play one?" I said, "Yeah, I'll play one." So okay, I'm gonna play the first one. You come on up afterwards. And I built my hand back up to playing, where I could manage to play maybe 2 tunes, then maybe make a set, eventually, until I could make a gig. And that I guess I was around about 90, 91, 92. Well, no.
No, your mother died.
2000.
Yeah, later.
2006, 2007, I started working again and performing. Yeah.
Yeah, because your mother died in 2002.
Yeah, she died March the 10th, as a matter of fact. 4 days before her birthday, she would have been 68. Yeah, I was really kind of hurt about that. I was angry more than anything,
As you should be. I mean, that was just the beginning. I mean, when you think of what the fentanyl with the Sackler family, they're the ones, the pharmaceutical family, who pushed fentanyl on everybody. And how many people died from that?
Yeah, and fentanyl's in everything now.
Yeah.
Everything.
I know. But your mom, that was just the first taste of a pharmaceutical company putting something out there before they knew what it would do.
And Maxine Shaw, who was Maxine Gordon, who was
She's the
later.
one who contacted me. Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
she was very, very instrumental in her getting that suit.
Really?
She spoke on her behalf as an authority on the jazz side of her. As a matter of fact, they had a management corporation for her music, Ms. Management.
Oh.
Yeah, and they did quite well.
Now, did she get in touch with you after she called me looking for you? Or looking for that club that your dad used to have in his basement?
Maxine?
Yeah.
No, she never did.
She didn't.
Not that I know. I've got no.
Because I gave her your new number.
Yeah, she hasn't reached out to me.
Oh, okay.
She may be in Europe, or she. I know she's
writing
teaching.
a book about your mother.
Yeah.
One of the people from the book is one of the people she's writing on is your mother.
Okay.
So, now that I got your email, I can give you her email if you want to contact her.
All right.
I'm done for questions.
Yeah, me too. I'm writing out this.
Thank you, Doc. It's nice seeing you.
Thank you, and I appreciate
You're
this.
great. You're very
Your
eloquent.
memory.
Your memory is great, but you're also very eloquent, very well spoken.
Thank you.
You can really tell it.
You know, and you have to excuse me for the lapse of time frame and
No,
everything.
your memory is
But ever
incredible.
since I've been using that new hair grease, my mind's been slipping.
It's got fentanyl in it.
I had to put that in there. Yeah.